Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today's topic is my 29 male soon to be ex-husband seems to feel entitled to another chance with me. 28F. My husband and I have been together almost 8 years, married for 2.5 of those. Last May, 2019, we separated seemingly overnight. He left me and our toddler and moved back to his hometown. There was never a solid reason given, just that he felt we should have never gotten married. In July, he changed his tune and wanted to be a family again. He was still at his job in his hometown, so I decided I would ride it out at my job in a different city for a couple of months to build my resume and then start looking for other jobs in his hometown. After 6 months of a brutal commute, taking care of our child during the week by myself, and driving to his hometown every weekend, interviewing, basically bending over backwards, I finally landed a great job in December. A week before I was to move into the new house we were buying together and start my new job, I found out he had been having an affair. He begged and pleaded for me to stay with him, said he'd break off all contact, and I foolishly agreed to give him another chance. 2 days later, while I was back in the different city and completing my last week of work at my old job, he unblocked her on everything and liked her pictures on Instagram. I was devastated. On top of that shit show, he kicked me out of the house we were supposed to move in together, and I had to find a new place to live 2 days before starting my new position. We have lived separately ever since. He has said and done so many hateful things in this time period and said so many times that he wants a divorce that I've lost count. Up until a month ago he was still maintaining contact with her. I saw her car at his house, took pictures for the lawyers, etc., and he admitted he had been talking with her still. I stopped doing the pick me dance about a month ago and stopped reaching out to him besides contact about our child. Now he has suddenly changed his tune and is desperate to get me back and will do anything. He has unfollowed her on everything. Unliked all her pictures. Tells me not to give up on our family. I've moved on. I'm not interested in pursuing another relationship with him. He's hurt me deeply and I feel like I've been effed over by him so many times that I've lost count. How can I tell him there isn't a chance without sounding like a completely heartless person? I still want to be able to maintain a strong co-parenting relationship with him, so I'm friendly to him, but he seems to take that as I want him back. I have relayed to him my feelings, but they fall on deaf ears. He says he will never stop trying to get our family back together and does not want a divorce. I do. Does anyone have advice? TLDR. Husband cheated and left me, was adamant he wanted a divorce. Now when I want one too he changes his tune. Edited to at, just to show the kind of person he is. When I asked him about the reason for his sudden change of heart, he said it was because I seemed stronger. The irony. Honestly, a big thank you to the prick for yanking the rug under my feet not once, but twice, because I truly have realized how much better I can do, and how I don't need anyone but myself to have a happy life. You are not heartless for being direct about your feelings, and even if you were, why would you be so careful about his feelings when he cares so little for yours? You need a lawyer to come up with a custody agreement. You do not need to be friendly with him to co-parent effectively. You just need to be cordial and not disparage him in front of your child. My ex feels entitled to a relationship with me. Filed under how awesome for him. See, also no is a complete answer. You're concerned about appearing like a heartless person to someone who not only acted heartlessly to you, but abandoned your child. Stop giving consideration and concern to people who've gone out of their way to give you neither. Here's what you tell him. Trust is one of the most important aspects of a relationship, and you have destroyed my ability to ever trust you. There can be no more chances, because there is no more trust. If you want to prove yourself trustworthy, do it by being a good father, and prove it to our child, because the only future relationship we have is co-parents. How can I tell him there isn't a chance, without sounding like a completely heartless person? Why does it matter to you if his feelings are hurt by how you phrase this? You gave him multiple chances, and he's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he can never be trusted again. Some part of him understands this. Just be firm about what you have to say and don't engage him if he asks you for another chance. No is a complete sentence. Wow, the gall he has to tell you not to give up on the family. You are giving up on being with him, not on having a family. The nerve, I swear. That's him trying to gaslight and manipulate you into getting back with him. He gave up on the family when he abandoned you more than once and cheated. Don't worry about his feelings. Be civil for your kid's sake, but you don't have to give him anything more than that. Just remember this. What would you tell your daughter if she was married and her husband acted like yours? He's right. You are stronger. Show your daughter how a man should treat his wife. My mammy used to say you don't come from a broken home. It was broken, and I fixed it. I think you know this won't ever be a healthy relationship. He is way too selfish and disrespectful towards you and your child. The best thing you can do is be a solid and happy parent for your child. He is probably best suited as an every other weekend dad with minimal responsibilities. Get a lawyer, custody agreement, and get what you are entitled from the home you guys purchased. You need to move forward and do what is best for you and your child. Sorry you are going through this. He's abusive. He just wants to keep control of you and your pain. Now it's clear he no longer has control. He is desperate for you back. Don't show your kid that this is what relationships look like. No is a complete sentence, and only manipulative people will try to convince you that it's mean. Stop trying to explain yourself. He literally does not care about your feelings. He only cares about his own, which is why he is pushing and pushing for a situation that benefits him. That's why your explanations are falling on deaf ears. Stop JDing. Justify/argue/defend/explain. Anytime he brings up getting back together, just say no. And do no engage. Keep all communication to text message, and don't think you owe him anything, except good co-parenting info. He's trying to keep the cycle going, and he's going to keep pestering you. He feels entitled to have his cake and eat it, too, if you'll pardon the expression. You absolutely deserve better. My perspective is that you're not heartless, but that won't change how you feel about it. So remember that he didn't think about his actions being heartless, because it was more than once. The fact that you're even concerned about it shows that you're a better person in my mind. Would choosing to stay in this relationship be heartless to you? Tell him one time. Backquote ex-husband, clearly you are not hearing me, so I'm officially giving up talking. As a result of your repeated disrespect, infidelity, and instability, we are completely done. I will be civil, but any further discussion of us getting back together, and I will immediately stop the conversation. Violating this boundary will mean we communicate solely through our lawyers. I want to have a good co-parenting situation, for the sake of our child, and I would appreciate if you'd work with me toward that. If you're not capable of that, then I'm afraid we have nothing else to discuss. He has gone on this far pushing your boundaries and you folding, so he has no reason to believe he can't just whittle away at you again. Show him you mean business. Go ahead and be heartless, he truly deserves it. Then move on with your life without him ever again, other than co-parenting your precious little child. He doesn't deserve you, and you deserve much better than him. He was so awful to you. He didn't care about how hurtful he was, so don't worry about being heartless to him. Best of luck. You are not responsible for his feelings regarding the repercussions of his actions. There is no need to coddle him, no need to be nice about it, no need to sell yourself short, or in any way try and diminish just how badly this guy effed you up, and effed you over, and not even just one time, either. You're not heartless for having feelings about it too, and for making them known. He's made his decisions. Now he has to come to terms with those, whether he likes it or not, and how he does it won't be your concern, because you'll be busy moving on to a brighter future. You need to be a stone wall. No emotion to your words. Let him bang on about the good old days, then call you names. It's all to elicit an emotional reaction from you. When you remain robotic, to the point, logical, without trying to convince him of anything, he'll be as ineffective to you as a wave is to a stone cliff. Don't worry about being heartless. He clearly wasn't. You should look up some info on the grey rock technique used as a defense against narcissists. Practice what you will say. If you stick to it, he'll realize you're not going to budge. Eventually his efforts will temper. You have to maintain this strict way of interaction throughout co-parenting with him. If you give him an inch with the remember the good old days, then he'll grasp onto that and exploit it. Good luck, hun. You and your child deserve consistency and love. Don't settle for anything less. Sorry, too little too late. If he genuinely wanted to save your marriage and make it work, he would take the initiative and find a marriage counselor. He would not have gone back and forth even though it's the same woman he has basically cheated on you 3 times. It wasn't just a brief fling he has been having, an ongoing affair with this woman for over 12 months. He threw you and your child into the street a week before you were supposed to move into a new home together. I believe he comes crawling back to you whenever this woman demands a permanent commitment from him. It's not you and your child he loves and cares about. He cares only for himself. I personally would divorce him. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You tell him that you do not and never will be able to trust him again, and you refuse to live like that. There is literally nothing you could do or say that would make you seem heartless. You could ship him in a box to Antarctica naked, and it would be too kind after what he's put you through. Tell him however you please that he isn't getting you back and say whatever you want. Seriously. After that, if he wants anything to do with you, he can contact you through your divorce lawyer. Anything he sends you, ignore it but save it. I'm so sorry you've been put through all of this. I can't even begin to imagine. You need to take care of yourself and your kid from now. Think hard about whether you want that sort of person in your kid's life, and do what you need to make sure you're alright. I would very much recommend therapy if you can get access.